We was powers on this earth once, and we was all about the mirth once. Idol worship, murder like the first of the month. Hit a nigga with the bit like he need a light. That's what you do when you on fourth, or else you got a punt. But we ain't needed when we cry for Egypt flesh, nah. So it's Egypt that we got, and we hella mad. These crackers soaring off our shoulders like some helipads. They see our sweat, but they don't feel us like we holograms. I'll be damned, another black man shot again. They deflect and tell us we are on.
Shalom, shalom, family. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, all praises, all honor, and all glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of his Son, who the world called Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai. Let me know if I'm coming in good. Let me know if I'm coming in good, family, so that I can make sure this audio is straight, so that we can get straight to the point, because I'm not going to be long-winded. Everybody's going into the polite topic. I'm going in on the polite topic, and I'm also going to touch on a couple of other things plaguing our nation. So y'all in for a little bit of a ride today. Those of y'all that tuned in with me, please make sure that you like, please make sure that you share, please make sure that you subscribe. Let's get this thing into motion so that the nation can eat off this as well. How y'all doing on today? How y'all doing on today? I pray you're doing well. I pray those of you that celebrated the Feast of Tabernacles had a good, holy week. Today's going to be the closing at sundown after the end of this Shabbat. Then we're going to go back to regularly scheduled programming. But I hope that y'all been blessed this week. We got a lot going on all the way from Russia talking big talk when it comes to what's going on with the BRICS, when it comes to what's going on with all these nations dropping the American dollar. And lo and behold, we bullshitting over here in Babylon the Great as Jake. But we're going to talk about those of us that know we Israelites and those of us who will shoot up the Bible. As far as I'm concerned right now, we all cause a common problem, and it's that we going to die here if we don't get it right. You know, none of us know that we elect. There's going to be an elect, but nobody knows who's who, right? So we do ourselves a great detriment not doing this work to the best of our ability. And a part of that work that we're going to talk about is loving our brothers ourselves, having a mentality where we are ready to lay our life down for our families. You know, we talk law, statutes, and commandments, but when it's time to get down to it, there's a lot of laws, statutes, and commandments that we're not familiar with if it ain't about telling the woman that she got to submit in the household, if it ain't about talking about poly, if it ain't the Shabbat, the basics, right? It gets real problematic when we talk about a petty theft. How do you handle a petty theft? If a brother steals from you so he can eat, what you supposed to do? A lot of brothers and sisters would answer that the brother or sister that still got to be put to death. Not understanding that our God is a God of mercy and that we have an economy that is established based off of that mercy, so that if a brother does steal, he can repay back what he stole, and if he doesn't have the means, he can work it off. These are very simple things that have to do with loving your brother as yourself. And these are ways that we love our God with all our heart. All right. So again, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so we can get to the meat and potatoes. As per usual, I prepared a visual aid because, again, I'm not just talking about polite. Everybody knows what's going on with polite. There's certain things that we're missing, and of course, it's our job to get them on track in love. I ain't nobody. I'm just a brother that's seeing an angle. I'm gonna come with that angle through the spirit and power. Y'all shine. The Lord willing, it edifies y'all. But again, please make sure that you like, share, and that you subscribe. Most important thing that you can do is share. You know what I'm saying? Look at these comments. 1968 says Black Devil is gonna reap what he sowed. Deuteronomy 28. Look, this is the facts of the matter. You are going to reap what you sow at the end of the day. You sow carnally, you're going to reap carnally. You sow spiritually, you're going to reap spiritually. Sometimes when you sow spiritually, you reap carnally, right? There's always a give and a take with the Most High, and you got to be very careful about what you giving, what you putting into the nation's water, because you're going to be judged for that. Captain Azariah is in the building as well. Shalom, brother. Shalom, Captain Azariah. Right? Make sure y'all share and make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all like this, because when you thumb it up, the algorithm picks it up. And it's very important that that happens, because we need ears on this. You know, we need to hear how, you know, Sakari going in right now. We need to hear how they're bringing it out. You need to hear how I'm bringing it out. We need to hear how people are going into it, because everybody going to add a little something. And right now is a time where we need to be sharpened up. We need to allow ourselves to be sharpened up, because we're supposed to be like precious stones tightly joined together, right? But how can that happen if we're not even willing to go through the process? Now, granted, the Most High is going to make it happen regardless, but it's just my job to let you know what the hell going on. Look, and if I didn't do it, I'd fit in this category. This is Isaiah 56:10. His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. So instead of assume that you know the deal, I need to make sure that if I think of a message to give to y'all, that I give it. Right? It's me only doing right, because I don't want to be like the dumb dogs, those that are too scared or too ignorant to speak on matters that they need to. Right? But we're not going to delay too much longer. I'm going to go ahead and start this visual aid so we can dive knee deep into this. Let me grab the file real quick. And where's that? There we go. I got you. It's crazy. I promise I didn't do it to you guys again. I got the video. And you know what? As per usual, while I grab this for y'all, if you have questions now and at the end of the live is going to be the reason to bring the questions out. You know, if I got the answer, I'm going to share them with you. That's a fact. Let me just share this one more time. There we go. Salakia. As I continue to do more of these, obviously I get the hang of this, brothers and sisters. So
Facebook, because she basically refused to give out a phone number.
who heard about this incident? Who heard about this incident? This Hamitic woman got hit in the face with a brick. Supposedly it's because she didn't give the phone number out, right? And also supposedly it was another Somali that did it to her, Not our people, not our problem, right? Wrong. It's not the Somalian woman that I'm concerned about. It's the fact that it's the end of days, right? And all eyes are on you niggas and Hispanics. Now, granted, you've always been niggas and you've always been spits, right? As far as the world's concerned. But they're counting on you to continue to be so. And thinking on Obadiah, where it says saviors are coming from Mount Zion, how are you supposed to be proper pillars in the community, saviors in your community, if your community is afraid of you? Am I saying that we're responsible for what happened to the Somalian lady? No. We responsible for the Somalian man's actions? Hell no. But the problem is that there are too many narratives that we are responsible for, where I hate to say it, the black woman is scared of you. I'm gonna talk to Judah, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna lie. It's not echoing for me so much among what's going on amongst the Northern Kingdom, but I know I'm hearing it a lot as far as the South goes. Our women are terrified of it, you know, because we live in a toxic environment. We don't have a community. We have a habitat. And so what happens is now, because all eyes are on you, black man, the Negro man, right, the tribe of Judah, all eyes are on you. So anytime a black person with dark skin does something, they're looking at you. And just understanding what the temperature's been amongst the red pill community. I know somebody sitting there saying, well, look, she's not feminine and fit. That's their excuse. She don't deserve no protection, or she's loud, and so who cares if she got hit? But the fact of the matter is, I'm using this as an opportunity to say, brother, look, if a woman's wearing fringes, um, if she's scantily clad, you're not supposed to allow that if it's happening to a sister. We're not supposed to stand against the blood of our neighbor, and our neighbor is our neighbor, regardless of what they're looking like, no matter what they believe in, because the scriptures also say that we can provoke someone to good works. So you being that example, you can start to stand out as that pillar in your community that you've been longing to be. You know, we want to talk about submit, we want to talk about follow, let me lead, right? Well, fucking lead, right? Don't let me catch you on the comment boards with regards to this subject matter, talking that, oh, well, you know, she shouldn't have been out by herself, or oh, she should have been, uh, just whatever the excuses are, right? Let the heathen do what the heathen do. But as you start to see around you that these incidences are playing out, when it does come to Judites, when it does come to the northern tribes, then it's a problem. We need to correct how we think. So when it's our opportunity to act the right way, we're addressing the situation properly, right? Can you explain the difference between alien like ET and an alien? Cap, what you talking about, man? What you talking about, man? Shalom Muck Muck the General. I can tell you that aliens is just plural for alien, right? You got people that are just going to be alien as not familiar to the nation that you're from, the city that you're from, or when it comes to theoretical science, the planet you're from, which I don't subscribe to, right? Let's continue this footage though, because I know y'all been waiting to get to the point.
And nobody did a damn thing about it. Here it is.
Yo, this man just hit me in my face with.
God damn, bro. Look at this. Look at the side of her face. Now, you're out of your damn mind if you hit a woman with a brick for not giving you the phone number. Let me be clear. There's going to be a time when the Most High puts on a spirit to us to do certain things, and that is what it is. You know, there's going to be certain things occurring in the earth, but you're out of your damn mind if this is how it actually played out. If you ask a woman for her phone number, she says no. She says fuck you even, and you put your damn hands on her. Look, she ain't worth your time. you damn sure shouldn't be spazzing out emotionally to where you ready to do this. It's a real mental illness going on in the brain of the person that did this. So again, if you see behavior like this, bro, make sure that you're not participating in it. And if it's your sister, that you're intervening. You don't have an option on that. I had an unfortunate situation where I'm at camp and this brother comes and talks to me. I'm all by myself. He comes and talks to me. He's like, I be seeing y'all on the corner, y'all just talking. I'm ready to go to war and da 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 and blah blah blah. And I said, how are we gonna go to war together if we can't even have a conversation? And as I expected, he wasn't about what he was saying. He was just another emotional, poor excuse for a black man wasting space, right? Because he's talking this talk, and then lo and behold, a minute later, a white man's going back and forth with a sister on the very corner, called her a bitch. So guess who jumps into action? The brother that was standing there talking. I had to tell the white dude he was dismissed, and that if he put his hands on the sister like he thought he was going to do, that he was going to get his face mangled, right? And then the brother that was doing all the talking, he's just standing there watching. You know what he said? These black women. So in my mind, I'm thinking, what you so ready to fight for if it ain't for your people? You understand the problem there? You understand the problem there? Muck Muck, the General, Shalom, Mr. CG, 222, Shalom. Shalom. If y'all coming in late, we just going over a couple of things that we need to tighten up as men, as brothers, before we can talk about what's going on with Mr. Nowak, aka Bother Polite or Brother Polite, who's been sentenced. We're about to talk about that, but there's a couple of things we touching on. So don't be Mr. Run Your Mouth, Mr. I'm all about the law, statutes, and commandments 1 minute, and then your sister's getting subjected to the type of abuse you're seeing on the screen, and then all of a sudden you Mr. Need your diaper changed. Pooh butt. Don't do that, because I will get on your ass. These are the last days, and it's about to be missiles coming. I'm not going to get on your ass because it's going to make me feel good. I'm going to get on your ass because, look, you're going to fucking die if you don't get it together, right? But don't let me keep rambling. We're going to keep on going.
They're breaking all these black men just watch, and they don't give a.
Look, the whole world watching. She's saying all these black men is watching, but she's in the Somalian community from what I understand. So, as my wife pointed out, people see the skin color and they hear the reverberation of the story that's being told that black men don't care. But here we are in a community where brothers want 100 of them to themselves. They're not buying it if you letting them get smacked, harassed, get their ass touched on, groped on, talk too crazy in the street without at least saying, brother, chill. We got to have more respect than that. Standing on that shit we're talking when we're thumbing up a debate, when we're online talking, or when we're in certain camps on back streets talking to the wind, right? We have to be about action. And a part of that action is looking out for ours, because look, if the other nations ain't looking out for theirs, and we've been in a place where we're not looking out for each other, it's time to change that. Repent, actually, right?
Yeah, this man hit me, grabbed a rock, and it hit me in my face because I would have given him my number.
Look, she looked like third good from the PJs right now because of the way that brick hit her. That is crazy. And to think that, this is not an isolated incident, that is actual sisters that's being subject to this type of behavior, it's nuts. Like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I seen an elderly sister get tossed in a garbage can by some young brothers. And they laughed at her. She was looking up out that garbage can, terrified, and they just had their cell phones recording and laughing at the sister. Right? So we can't say, oh, that's them. No, it's us too. And we need to make it to where we're not seen before the Most High with this kind of behavior. Not excusing anyone, but she provoked everything. She disrespected everyone before the number was asked. But look, I understand that, right? The Somalians have an excuse, but we have a standard. So let me ask you this. I'm going to pull out the law, right? And I'm going to ask you if provocation even matters, right? Because this is the message that's being sent. And so I need you to bear with me. This is Leviticus 19:16. It says, one, we're not supposed to go up and down as a talebearer among our people. Then it says, thou shalt not stand against the blood of thy neighbor, for I am the Lord. So in a situation where it's us, if a sister's popping off at the mouth, right? Say she starts throwing hands. What is your job as an Israelite man? And I'm going to make it rhetorical. Our job is to intervene. The scriptures say, blessed are the peacemakers. So if you come in and mediate a situation before it gets out of hand, you know, you have every right to do that, and it's your job to do that. So, you know, I understand you said not excusing anyone, but we got to be very careful about the things we are bringing upon us. But there's too many situations where we're condoning the wrong shit just because we got the pissy pants. I've seen it. I've seen it. And yeah, we can walk away, but then that's breaking the law. You know, it's breaking the law if we walk away as the man of the Lord, seeing that and not doing that. You feel me, family? I just want to make sure that you understand that. Because it's not an option for us to keep certain laws or not. You know what I mean? Because when the tables turn, Yahushua gonna be like, yeah, it's optional for me to take you, and it actually is, but you don't choose the option not to, if that's how we're doing things. Cap's in the building. Shalom, Cap.
Shalom, shalom,
Yeah. And Mr. CG222, I appreciate you. I'm not grilling you personally, but your reply is a good opportunity for me to speak to anybody who is, you know, sharing the same thought as you. And you know, we gotta learn together or we gonna burn together. That's just it. You got something to add, Cap?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just like it says in the law. You know what I'm saying? And this is something that ties back into the law that we're not supposed to do what? Stand against the blood of our neighbor.
All
right.
Like a loud bitch is a neighbor, whether she's
Even
a
that.
loud bitch or not.
Yep.
You know, and if she's a quiet, pleasant woman, we can't then say, well, because she's quiet and pleasant, she's a neighbor. It's that's called respected persons now, and then we're not having that balanced judgment like we have to, because we're not doing it for her as much as we're doing it for the nation. And we're not doing it for the nation as much as we're doing it for the Most High God. So it's like there's levels to it. If you love your people, you're going to keep the commandments. If you love the Most High, you're going to keep your commandments. It's levels to it. If you love yourself, you're going to keep the commandments. Because we know that not doing so is what the wages is death.
The sin is death, right? Romans 6:23, right? See, the wages of sin is death. Wages of sin is death, right? But the gift of the Most High through keeping His law is what? Life eternal, right? Like our Lord said, if you want to enter into life, what do? You keep the damn commandments. All right.
That's right.
Hey man, and then also, what you said?
Mug asked the important question. So I wanted to just address him on that, and then you got it. But he said, I know it's off subject. I wanted to know if you could do a video addressing the lust pornography demon. I've been battling that demon off and on for years now, and I want that old man gone. Most definitely we could do that, because that's the thing that's very common in our community. And a lot of times we get introduced to that shit so early that it becomes a deep-rooted issue. It becomes regular damn entertainment for some of us. So we have to make certain wicked shit to where it used to be regular. We got to make it to where we throw up in our mouth when we think about going back to it. So, you know, I appreciate you being sincere in that request, and we'll absolutely do that for you. I'm going to send you the email, and I would say reach out as well so we could give counsel and so you can have encouragement when between time.
You know, it's funny that you know this. You know, we know how spiritual, you know what I'm saying, everything is. But recently, you know who I'm talking about. I'm not gonna, you know, of course, reveal who it is. But you know, a brother who we recently started talking to again. I'll just say it like that. Um, he had that same problem, and I, you know, had to give him some counsel recently on that. You know what I'm saying? So, as you were saying, it's common. You know, it's introduced to us as kids. I'll give my own testimonies. I'm not ashamed. You know what I'm saying? I saw my first pornography. I mean, probably before I was 10 years old, just in my grandfather's basement in Queens, New York, just fucking around and found the tape and put the shit in. You know?
Yeah, 100. I was on the playground at school, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say, Muck Muck, it's important to have brothers, especially brothers that's in their right mind, and it's not gonna try to find ways for you to justify
Right. Your lust.
because I needed that. I needed that, and it caused a lot of turmoil in my household, you know, and you know, I'm like, well, there's not a law against it. And so if I do this and I do that, that's nurturing something that can become bigger. You know, what if brothers become now victim to, oh, I gotta buy prostitutes and so on and so forth. So, you know, we'll definitely help you get that nipped in the bud. And you definitely got two brothers that got experience in kicking that dude.
Habit, that demon. Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And right, that the addiction, having a demon on that on you like that, can definitely lead to other things. You know, as the brother said, you'll start exploring, you know, the streetwalkers, the prostitution. You know what I'm saying? Justifying it in your mind that, oh, this is my concubine or some shit. You know,
Lord Christ,
right?
if you get a prostitute concubine, that's madness. But you know,
Right. Absolutely.
we
Right.
know you ain't on the way to that, Muck Muck. So we gonna get you right, bro. Make sure you reach out.
Absolutely. So,
And
you know, and
let's
last thing I would say, Ak, is that we definitely, my brother, don't want that to happen to you. So, as you know, the powerful brother Ashed, man, reach out to us, man. We'd love to talk to you, man, and give you that counsel personally, Ak.
that's real. I'm gonna put the link to our main channel in here so that you can subscribe there, and more likely that'll be something that we release right there, brother. That'll be something that we release right there. Just 1 second while I put the link in the chat. Right there. I don't know about y'all, but I'm hungry, so lucky because it's throwing me off. Hey, you got anything else you wanted to add, Cap?
I mean, nah, but to this video, just, you know, we had to be better. You know what I'm saying? You know, um, our sisters, you know, even, and look, man, like you were saying earlier, I caught some of it in the beginner. She might not even be an Israelite. She might be a Hamite, but
Yeah,
it's the optics behind it. You know what I'm saying? Because they try to paint us all with a brush, a Hamite, a so-called black person who's really an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? They try to lump us all together. They don't really see any difference. I'm talking about the majority, the vast majority of our enemy. They don't see a difference, right? So if you see that happening, man, it's not just about, oh, well, that's a Hamite and she shouldn't be out here. No, man, you got to send a message, man, that we're unified as a people, man. All right, and if you take advantage of one, you take advantage of all. Con.
That's right. That's what Yapa was just saying. And I'm not gonna lie, you know, I was teetering whether or not I was gonna touch on it just on account of the fact that she's not an Israelite, but it's like we're gonna touch on this other shit. We're gonna touch on this because, you know, Yap got tears in her eyes because when I say I hear about how our sisters are terrified of us, you don't understand what it's like to be at the gym as a woman. And my wife dresses modest at the gym, you know, but it doesn't change the fact that it's weirdos in there following you around, trying to like make you notice them, trying to get on the treadmill right next to you, and she just trying to get her miles in. You know, like a nigga could be everywhere at once. You know, I can't. But I hear the story. Oh, she trying to leave the gym, and she noticed a nigga trying to time it just right, so he leaving at the same time, and he don't know how to talk to nobody, and he yelling like he DMX. it's just like so much anxiety that come with being a sister. And then to top it off, they're being abused for not wanting to interact. I don't want to say it the nice way, and I don't want to say it too mean. Like, imagine what it's like for you to have to make a decision like that when you walk out the door.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't want a code switch at work. Well, they got a code switch and they got to walk on eggshells and all these things. So if we want them to trust us, if we want to be the head of the house, if we want to be the leaders in the community, if we want people to respect us, if we don't we don't want to just be little
So
Jody
crazy.
that stepped on by master. There's certain things that we got to do. Bring it out, Cap.
Salaki, you know, this is so crazy. That's why I said, man, this, man, shit, man, Yahweh, man, all praise to the Heavenly Father. Call all Yahweh, Bashem, Mashiach, Yahweh, Shah. I got a testimony. Happened last night, right? I go into the gate, you know what I'm saying? On my way out for work, man, y'all know y'all brother, the brother Cap work hard. So I'm going in there, man. I'm going in there to get me some ice in my water bottle and some ice in my cup for my drink. I'm gonna pour my Gatorade in, right? While I'm out working. So as I'm in there, I'm getting my ice. I hear this dude at the register. Normally it's two sisters in there, right? Working the night shift. One's the manager and one's the associate. So she in there, and this is this brother up there, and
You went out, Cap. You went out. I don't know if you muted or what have you, but we cannot hear you. Yeah, Cap, you muted.
can you hear me?
Yeah, you back now.
Con, I'm gonna finish this testimony when I come back in about 5 or 10 minutes. I have to run and pick my daughter up real quick. But if I can't get back on before that, I will, so I can finish this, because it's a great story and y'all need to hear it because it ties right into what we're talking about. Give me about 2 or 3 minutes.
Go on for sure.
Con.
Shout out to the powerful Cap. You know, he's a powerful dad and husband in his household, and asset to this body over here. But you know, we definitely want to hear what he's gonna add to the situation. But I'm gonna continue this footage because I know y'all came in to hear.
Oh, y'all just watch.
What do you
Y'all
want to
see
do?
it?
What do you want
Y'all
to
see
do?
it?
What do you want to do?
What y'all to do? I want y'all to be a man.
Get my gun.
I want y'all to be a man. Do something. Y'all gonna let a man hit me in my face? Oh, y'all. What have I ever done to anybody in my life to deserve this? I never did anything.
If you ever let a brother take a brick and hit a sister in the face to where she looked like that, like chew bubble gum, like a woman should not look like that. And it ain't natural. Somebody hit her so hard, that shit is nuts.
In my life to hurt anybody. Literally.
We find out she lying because she walked around slapping people. She might be a serial street slapper, but nonetheless, whether provoked or not, our sisters need to be corrected and protected. It got to be both. You know what I'm saying? You saying something, Cap? You breaking up, bro. It sounds like the dial-up sound when you try to talk.
Grabbing a little snack too.
Okay.
So anyway, you can hear me clearly, right, King?
Yeah, you good now.
Con. So I'm in there, man, and I'm grabbing my last item, right? Filling up my ice, and I see the sister. She got a look on her face like, you know, like, what's wrong with this guy, you know, who's up at the register? So it's a brother, right? And then he started to get loud, and then so I walk up to the register, and I'm, you know, waiting on her to finish with him, and then he actually say something about me, you know, and I'm not gonna repeat what he said, but he's just like this hating blank, right? And I'm like, as he walked away, I asked the sister, was he talking to me? And she was like, yeah, he probably was, but he mad at me. I was like, well, why he mad? Because she said he come in there like every night and try to holler at her, get her phone number, and you know, she not having it or whatever. and then he get loud and stuff like that. I'm like, damn, you know. I'm like, she's like, I'm glad that you came in because you know I've had to call the cops on him. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow. Yeah, she was like, other dudes come in here and they've asked me for my phone number and I've, declined. And, it haven't been a problem, but it's every time with this dude right here. I'm like, God damn. I'm like, well, I'm glad I came in too, sis, man. I hate to have to hem my brother up, but if I had to, I would. Because it's just wrong. You know what I'm saying? Leave the young sister alone. She's just trying to do her job, not in there to get harassed by you. Because she don't want to give you her phone number.
And he probably a bum acting like that too. It's so crazy. So it's like you'll get people on the job for giving out your phone number in some places. I'm sure, especially when you're like that much of a focal point for the establishment. So it's like I gotta choose between professionalism and entertaining you. Your crazy ass.
Right.
That's bad, man.
It's just bad, man. And she's the manager, the night manager, the sister I was talking to. I know because I go in there frequently and I see her. Yeah, she was just like, yeah, she was like, man, like 3-4 times a week because he know I'm in here. He come up in here, and you said the dude's a bum. You called it because when I walked out a few minutes later, I could see him walking through the parking lot, not getting in his car, walking.
That's crazy.
So
it's crazy. 4 times a week. Imagine the anxiety levels, but we want more from them. We want more from them, family. So we gotta give more too. Like that's a terrible situation to be in. The woman's the weaker vessel, right? So what would y'all do in the chat if you seen Cap's scenario, the scenario he described? Before we hit play on this, I want y'all to chime in because it's about participation in the FOG classroom. Let me know your thoughts. How would you respond to the situation Cap witnessed? You looking the other way because her nails is too long, and you don't like her accent, or you don't like her hair.
The sister had extensions in,
Right. Yeah. Were they blonde?
They were light. They weren't blonde. They were like light brown.
Close. Some of y'all like, yeah, she's out of here if she got the blonde hair. It's crazy.
Right. Like that matter.
Look, man.
Right.
These responses is coming slower than a damn stimulus check, so we just gonna keep moving.
The man asked me for my number. I said no, and he picked up a brick in front of so many men and was like, what are you gonna do? And I told all these men, like, yo, why this man got a brick on my face? And he's holding a brick, and all these is watching, and nobody does nothing. And he hit.
I got more video. I have.
Look,
now a lot of people.
That's enough of that.
That did not help.
While we're here, for real. But you get my point, man. We got to step it up on that front. But here come another front we got to step it up on. So I hope y'all ready. Hope you got your pants buckled, your seatbelt on.
For Bashi, you hit a man. I pointed these video league harass me page, and to just side.
Good you. Please, being in that being.
This is
Promise worth more. Promise what you it's your son. It's your son.
This is the
woman.
I know y'all know about what happened with Iuic and Isupk in Atlanta. You probably heard, you probably ain't. But we got to do better than this too. I'm not going to say too much about the situation other than if we know why we're out there, how in the fuck do we get caught in this type of stuff? We need peace amongst brethren. We need to be linking up because when your camp and your city goes to shit and it's 2 or 3 left in the city, like the Bible say, and a brother just got a purple shirt on and you with UPK or any other given camp, what you gonna do? You gonna neglect to help him? You gonna reject his help, or you gonna straighten up? That's all I'm gonna say about that. Because before we get on Michael Nowak, the man who wants to be in the heathen's ways, look, before we want to get into that and correct him, those of us who know better, we got to straighten our way up for it. First, be not a hypocrite in the sight of men, right? Now, here we have a situation with the front runners of masculinity in the modern day, red pill. Who know about red pill or the manosphere? Right, we got to deal with the manosphere now. The manosphere is crumbling. Fresh and Fits taking off the internet. And now we have this dude right here. My rib put me onto this interview. This dude talks all about masculinity. Cap says he's gonna be back in a few. All praises to the Most High. But you know, we got this dude we about to look into, and he talks all about masculinity, and you know, he's super masculine supposedly. But here he is talking to Fleece Johnson. Who knows who Fleece Johnson is, aka the Booty Warrior? Whether y'all know or not, this man was called Booty Warrior in the prison. You damn right, red pill is falling apart because it's all a toxic message. They're not really teaching about how to sustain marriage. When they talk about tradition, it's the white man's tradition. So at the end of the day, they're interested in furthering this kingdom and learning how to participate in it so that they can simply maximize the amount of pussy they get until they find a woman who's both dumb enough to follow them and smart enough to do everything from them, that doesn't want to talk, who weighs 120 pounds at 5'7". You know, the white man standards, right? That's what they're all about. You know, they perpetuate promiscuity. They talk bad about women that are promiscuous, but they promote the pump and dump. You know, brothers just like this. But I want you guys to see how he acts when he's faced with a real supervillain like this dude right here. How masculine is he? I want you to put a 1 in the chat if you feel like his response is masculine, and a 2 in the chat if you feel like he took the effeminate approach and buckled. But you got to wait until this footage is over. So I'm going to let it play out. And when I hit the pause, I want to know your vote.
But I'm in here going through all this, and then people act like they don't understand that I like booty. So what? But what is I supposed to do, bro?
Pause. And this shit ain't funny. This dude got a real mental illness, and he became a serial rapist in prison. Yeah, their whole movement was based on who has the most money. And it was coming from the perspective of, I didn't get no respect. I didn't get no love from the girls when I was in school. They used to make fun of me when I was young. And now I can treat them however I want to. That's really the stance that they're taking. We got another comment in the chat from Brother Yeshai, Yo Will, Shalom. All due respect, these women are out of control by and large. I agree. If the dude did this to her, but we can't be so quick to put the cape on for some Ciroc 26 and 25 harlot. Brother Yeshayahu, I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked the brothers earlier. You know, quick to put a cape on. There's certain circumstances where you got to evaluate the situation that you're in, because your first ministry is your wife, right? Or when you're with your brethren, or how you can manage a situation as one man against many, but you're still to apply yourself. You know, that's just me saying. Now I'm going to read this law and I'm going to ask you if it's optional or not. Leviticus 19:16. Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer amongst thy people. And that's not the point, but it's this one. Neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am the Lord. So we got this commandment saying you can't stand idly by and watch blood be shed. So is that optional? I just want to get a con or a la, my brother, and I appreciate you coming with respect. I just want a con or a la, because we have to send the message of clean versus unclean. We can't be sidestepping in favor of the sister who is pleasant to us, but not in favor of the sister who gets on our damn nerves. And that's going to be the majority of the sisters, just like the majority of the brothers, because this nation is going to have 66.6% dying of thermonuclear destruction because they're fucked up, right? But we don't have a choice in some of these matters, and this is one of them. So con or on is that optional when it comes to Leviticus 19:16?
Huh?
I don't know.
So again, back on track. I'll address the next comments after we look at this clip. Is this brother masculine or is he a bitch?
You tell me.
You don't know.
I don't know. I can't picture myself ever being in that situation.
All right. I just say, for instance, you was in that situation.
I can't see it, please. I can't think about it.
You were toning me down.
What you mean?
Huh. More important than Wilder, you should know what I mean.
I can't see it. Why?
I didn't notice how.
I can't see it, please. And I'm gonna tell you why. Listen, I just can't even picture myself ever being locked up.
That's good. That's good.
I will do anything to stay out of prison. Like I won't steal, kill, destroy, nothing.
That's good.
I knew from a very early age that I'm not built for that. You know what I'm saying? And so I just never even wanted to put myself in that hypothetical situation. So when I was seeing you,
I ain't saying this to be disrespectful.
He said that's wild. Watch how much wilder it get. This is cold.
No. I don't think it's disrespectful. I think that it's.
I think you cute for real. But
me?
Yeah.
No.
That nigga said I don't think it's disrespectful. Thank you, baby. That nigga said I don't think it's disrespectful, bro.
Not in that look.
Not me.
I'm saying, hold up. Good looking. Let's say it like that. Good looking. Well, if you was locked up, if you was locked up, yeah. If we was locked up, I would talk to you.
Man, what you think? Masculine, or is he a little bitch? Look in the whole video. Pause. He said, "You think you got a nice butt? You think you got a nice body? You think you look good?" And the brother said, "I don't think I'm that cute." And then Fleece Johnson said, "Well, I do." That's what he was saying. I don't mean to be disrespectful. And the nigga said, "I don't think you're being disrespectful." Back in the day, if you had the wisdom when you was going to and fro talking to women, you break the ice like this. If you was pimping, if you was macking, you would talk to girls like this. I don't want to be disrespectful. I hope you don't mind me saying, but you're so beautiful. That's what you say. And what it is it's checking the fact that you know it's disrespectful in some points of view. And it gives you a certain look of vulnerability. So it's disarming. And so whenever a girl starts giggling and says, "Oh, it's not disrespectful," you know then to ask for the phone number. Am I right or am I wrong? So this nigga just got turned out. Next thing you know, he's being invited to parties. He's being dared to take a couple shots. He's being taunted about how much liquor he could take. You're not brave enough to go do X, Y, and Z. And then what a brother does from there is who knows what, depending on what type of endeavor he's embarking on with that girl. But the nigga, did you see him go like this? Giggling and shit? It was sick. Now, I've been out the game for a long time, but am I wrong or am I right? I'm pretty sure it still goes down like that. It only makes sense, especially now in this feminist age. You have to be disarming. So Felice Johnson just went to this whole masculine red pill dude, man, and just he really checked him with the jab and said, you know, I don't want to be disrespectful, but I think you know, I'm attracted to you. And the nigga giggled it off. These brothers are very homosexual. They hate their sisters, which is why, you know, they tell you to have sex with them, especially like single moms. They victimize the single moms. So guess what? We also got to take a stance against these things. I'm just opening your eyes to certain things. We got to take stands against these things. When these brothers speak up about how a household should work, we should shut them down immediately. Don't nobody want to hear from you because you'll let a nigga walk up and pinch you on the cheek. And I ain't talking about your face, but he'd go for that too, right? Pseudo masculinity, pseudo masculine vibrato is what they're dealing with. Cap's back in the building. Shalom, Cap.
Hey, shalom, shalom.
I know that was.
Oh my Lord.
I know that was shocking, yo.
Oh my God, man. Look, what you're saying is so true, man, because I'm just speaking for myself, 40-year-old man. I've been out the game for a while. You know, me and my rib been together for going on 20 years now. All right? You know, but I ain't too old to understand the game. And that's exactly what happens. Like, you know, when you say something like that to a woman, that's what a man says to a woman. Like, if you don't mind me saying this, you know, or you don't mind me asking, you know, why? Because you know that they could potentially mind, but you do it to flex your masculinity on them. You know what I'm saying? And you want to hear their response, because if they say the right thing, you know where it go from there. If they say, oh, it's not a problem, giggle, laugh a little bit, smile. Hey, all right then. Hey, well, why don't you go ahead and, you know, slide me your number, sweetie, so that, you know, we can, you know, chop it up, you know, and we'll take it from there or something. Right?
I've seen it 100 million times.
Oh, my God.
And so, you know, he just got bagged, basically. Now, this is the other perspective of it. Girls will also giggle because they're nervous.
Yep.
So do I think he wanted to get with Fleece? No.
No.
We're
not saying that. Right.
Says he is. Because the true response is, nigga, that it ain't going down like that. That is disrespectful. I'm not, you know, this ain't where it's going down at. Something. I'm gonna need more respect than that, bro.
I got another testimony. It's crazy. Look, I'm not, you know, I ain't ashamed. I tell the Akim, everybody out there, you know, I don't hide nothing. You know what I'm saying? I tell y'all the straight truth. I've been incarcerated in jail, you know, and while I was in jail, I would say I witnessed situations that touch on what we're talking about here, right? Because they're gang members, you know. I'm not going to call out the gangs, you know what I'm saying? And I talked to one of the cats while I was in there, and, you know, and he was like, you know, like, basically this is what we do when we locked up. You know what I'm saying? And then I peeped it. It was a guy who came on in my block, right, my tier, right? Older gentleman, you know, and you can kind of tell he was kind of like soft. I'm not going to say he was a homosexual or anything, but not like an alpha male, right? And before you know it, man, I'm talking about a few of the gang members, they was on him. Within 2 days, man, another dude moved into the his cell, you know what I'm saying? And basically he was like his bitch. You know what I'm saying? Buying him commissary, washing his drawers. I'm like, man, oh man, bro. So it happens like that, and these brothers, you know what I'm saying, who've been incarcerated for long stretch and have done things like that, they know how to they have a way about manipulating a nigga who ain't an alpha male. That's what I'll say. You know what I'm saying? See, because if that was me or you up there on that panel, we would have checked that nigga like, bro, what the fuck you mean? I would talk to you, bro. Man, I'll slap your old ass off that chair. All right?
Instantaneously. It's really like this. All he was doing was either seeing where the dude was at so that he can, build him up to something. But when it comes to men versus other men, that's a tactic you use to see what you can get away with. And it just allows a dude to build confidence that, oh, this nigga soft, he's going to be easy to get over on. That's simple. That type of anxiety alone, I can't go for. But it's not to say that you being masculine, you got to jump out the damn window. But there's just different behaviors. And we can pick up on it. Now, I'm going to ask you this. If that's who our young men are looking up to, brothers like that, then don't they need us that much more? Don't we need to be that much more of an example? Because these niggas is the loudest. These is the ones getting all the views. These is the ones that the brothers is looking to for advice. And it's just, all it's doing is creating a fast spinning hamster wheel full of femininity, dressed in a masculine skin suit. Right? So we need to be even more present as men of the Lord. And we need to aspire even harder to be men of the Lord, so that the polites of the world, so that niggas like these can't infiltrate and just have their way with the communities that we're supposed to have rulership over. I hope y'all feel me. It ain't about caping, it ain't about booty clapping, it ain't about nothing but protecting what's ours. And it really starts as being the change you want to see. You're going to always hear me say it here.
And I got a precept too I want to read.
Bring that up.
Con. This is 1 Kings chapter 2, and I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, now the days of David drew nigh that he should die, and he charged Solomon his son, saying, I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man. Okay? Verse 3.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to read the last verse 3. And keep the charge of the Most High Yahweh thy power to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgments and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses, that thou mayest prosper in all thou doest, and wheresoever thou turnest thyself.
We bring that out.
Right.
You see, prove yourself to be a man is everything that's ascribed unto manhood in the law, statutes, and commandments. It'd be real easy if the law was just have sex, if the law was just get money, if the law was just any of those things we like to harp on that take us away from the responsibilities that might be a little bit agonizing at times. But we got to take a hold of the whole thing. We want the good. We got to take the difficult too. That's just a part of being a man. That was a powerful precept. If we don't have an option whether or not we're going to be the men we're supposed to be or not. The options is missile food or chariot.
Right.
The righteous are scarcely saying, where then shall the wicked appear, the scriptures say.
That's right.
We're going to keep it moving.
Hey, look, and it's easy, man. Remember, our Lord said, take the yoke, his yoke upon you and learn of him, man. Get his word all over you. You know what I'm saying? And you'll come to find, man, that this burden right here is easy. All right?
Right.
All right? And right, this is light work. So yeah, we have to show ourselves a man, and everything we need to show thyself a man, to show yourself to be a man, a alpha male. You know what I'm saying? Right? If you're from the tribe of Judah, a leader. All right? Because the scepter will not depart from Judah. Right? Everything we need is in the law. All right? So, you take hold of that. Take hold of our Heavenly Father of the covenant. All right? And his testimony, man, and his laws and his statutes.
Now let's get to the next bit of this. Damn right, Cap.
They say I'm just interested in the facts, man. Just give me the facts. Not draw my own conclusions. But I know people would hope that all the bullying. They say I'm just interested in the facts, man. Just give me the facts. Not draw my own conclusions.
That have been spread to rectify the matter.
there's been a rumor spread. There's two main rumors that's been spread. But the main rumor is that I have pled guilty to child molestation.
Can you pause that?
So,
God.
You see how bold this devil is, bro? Right?
Yeah.
And I'm calling. And people say, "Oh, you're calling the brother a devil." You can be a deceiver and be an Israelite. By the way.
Yeah.
Right?
Notice his name is Bother Polite.
Right.
His name is Bother Polite, not Brother Polite. Because all he's been doing, he's been a rash on the ass of the Black, Hispanic, and Native American woman since he came on the scene, and he's just proven it. You know, it's all praises to the Most High for exposing him, but it's unfortunate that it had to be, you know, it had to play out the way it had to play out with this family. So,
Right. And nobody was saying that I saw was saying that Brother Polite had pled guilty. What they were saying was that you had a court date, right? And that it appeared as if you were going to take a plea or your ass is going to end up under the jail like your mentor. That's what people were saying, right? So you are great. You learned great from your daddy, right? Esau, right? How to be a damn spin doctor. Because nobody was saying that. They saying they got the records. The girl Tasha, who got the show about, Khan. She pointed it out. She showed the records. Polite. That's all.
yeah,
That's all.
they was hot off the press too.
That's right. Look, bro. The Israelites in this community, man, and shout out to the brothers from the Sakari, man, for putting in the leg work, right? The brothers down in Sakari, Miami, right? They was at the courthouse, bro, and you didn't show up.
Yeah.
Right? Your lawyer was there, the top lawyer at that. Okay, and you didn't show up. Why? Because you knew you pulled a fast one. You like, I'm gonna go to jail and plead guilty anyway, so I'm gonna just take the rest of my time and get my money, right? So I can leave it to God, right? As you call it, the so-called black woman who you took advantage of.
You see that?
You're a walking contradiction, man. And look, bro, anything that happened to you, bro, while you in jail, bro, it's your judgment. You deserve it, man. Right? We ain't forgot how you came at the Israelite community so hard, right? I remember the first time I got wind of you, I saw the debate you and the conversation you and Gorilla Hebrew was having when you asked him about would he hate his mother or kill his mom or something like that because she's an Edomite, right? Which is you tried to put him in a trick bag because you thought the Israelite brother weren't going to be honest, right? But he had to be honest with what's in his heart. I know you can't understand that. Right, because the truth ain't in you.
Because he only know how to deal with emotionally.
No, he don't. He don't. You tried to pin the brother Gorilla Hebrew, Alazar, right? You tried to pin him into a corner with that question. And all he did was answer honestly through the spirit. And anybody watching can see that. Even if you ain't an Israelite. If you understand his belief system, you would understand that he answered honestly. Right? Yes. It is what it is. He can love his mother and understand that she got a judgment coming.
You know, that's called being objective.
That's right.
But he liked to play the Hegelian dialectic and try to scare people with his intellectualism. Mm-hmm. And it's like he's not counting on brothers actually believing what they're talking. So when he's confident, the way that he comes off, like he's confident, usually it works. But like, you know, we ain't playing those games here. But look, this is just the build up.
Right.
Let me clear up the two things that need to be addressed.
And then we will go
to actual ruling.
To the details on the contract. Go ahead.
Your Honor, the plea agreement includes an adjudication, 7 years of state prison, followed by 10 years of reporting probation. As a condition of probation, the defendant will...
Would you say 10 years probation?
10 years reporting probation.
Okay.
The defendant will complete the MDSO program. The defendant will not be allowed to have unsupervised contact with children. The defendant will have specific terms regarding where he may work and the ability to wear a uniform. There are additional terms of restitution.
You heard him say he can't wear a Chuck E. Cheese uniform, right?
That's right. You can't be near children, man. Just like you're just like your mentor, Dr. Malachi York. All right, no difference. No difference between you and him. Did they say 7 years in state penitentiary though?
Yeah, they said 7. I think they alluded to 10 though.
Yeah, I think they said 7 years he got to do, and then 10 years probation.
Man, look, I hope he get his time extended.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie.
Cause he's a demon, man, and he's not fit to be on the street, man, because of his mindset. He has a terrible demon on him.
Yeah, Yob said, look, that can't be the first time he's done it.
Of course not.
And, you know, he get with these moms that's probably desperate, you know, at the bottom like the rest of us, and they looking like, oh, I got the opportunity of a lifetime to be with this dude who knows 1,000 words I never heard before.
Right.
You know, I remember when he was interviewing one of the victims of Malachi Z. York, he told him, he said he would have to take Malachi York's side because that's his guy.
Yeah. Yeah, they were sitting on a bench, right?
He said, I would have to.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. They were sitting on a bench talking. He said that he would still have to take Dr. Malachi York's side because of all of the good stuff he done. This man has the largest sex abuse case in American history.
Yeah. That's saying a lot.
This guy's mentor.
That's saying a lot.
Hey, Khan the general. Yeah, it is heavy, just like York.
For real.
Of which 5,000 has been agreed to be paid upfront within 24 hours, mailed to the to the victim, and additional restitution to be paid out on a monthly basis once he.
This is when they ask what the total amount of restitution gonna be.
Is out of custody, and that monthly amount is highlighted in the written terms of the plea agreement. Additionally, there will be a stay-away order from victim TS and her mother, which is also mentioned in the plea agreement.
What is the total amount of the restitution?
Watch this.
The total amount of restitution is $25,000.
Can you believe that shit?
Wow.
That little girl's life is ruined.
That's worth 25 grand. You see how wicked this system is too?
And he only gets 7 years.
Right? See,
he only gets 7 years. So I'm
7 years. 25. You know, he's worthy of something a lot less under his law, because he's an Israelite, by the way. All right.
Look. What I'm facing brothers with is, if this is our people's alternative to the men of the Lord, what does that mean we gonna do? Those of us that's watching, we ain't watching this shit because we polite fans, are we? We're not on this live right now because we're fans of Babylon. So the only alternative should be that we go harder for our people, because if we don't, there's plenty more piranhas in these waters. There's plenty more of these effeminate ass niggas to pretend like they know the way and that they got the keys to success and a happy life, right? There's plenty of them to go around. It's plenty more fights to be had between brothers who's supposed to be in unity. And it's damn sure not going to be the end of brothers harassing sisters and little kids on the street.
Men, little girls and boys. Yep.
Right. So what we going to do? Are we going to be the change that we want to see? Or are we going to just be fanboys who's like, oh, he's going to get what he deserves? Calm when we see somebody getting cut in our favorite camp video. But when we got to put a plan of action and emotion, we just sit on our hands until they go numb. You know, those are the two things that we could do. One of them comes with death for us. The other comes with righteousness. And that's when we start to be forgiven the way that we want to be forgiven. Remember, we got to get the blood off our hands. So we can't just know. Knowing is not even half the battle. Fuck what G.I. Joe talking about. Knowing is not even half the battle. You know now you have to do something. You literally have to do the work. If you're going to start your own camp, I'll help you make your goddamn logo. If you're going to join a camp, I could probably text Deacon or Alazar for you and find out what's good. You You know, it's an email you can hit up. It's an email you can hit up for us. We can get you right in these doors, or you could go get with Wi-Fi. You can go get with IUIC for all I care. But you gotta like honestly start to dig deep and do this work, or all of this is just for entertainment, bro. You know, there's predators out there, or people need you. They need to see that you care. The predators need to see that you care so that you can avert further crises like this, so that you can discourage this type of behavior. That's all I really had.
I got a precept.
Kind of bring it out.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. It says, and now Israel, what doeth the Lord thy God require of thee?
What does the Lord require of thee? Does it say, what does he desire of you?
No, I'm going to read it again. This is Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12. It says, and now Israel, what doeth the Lord thy power require of thee?
Wait, I feel like my ears itching a little bit because the stagnation that I see, the continual hatred for one another, it's almost like brothers imagine the Most High sitting on his throne with his legs crossed, twiddling his fingers, saying, I really would appreciate it. It says, what does he require? The requirement is something that you have to do. We got to really, especially the tribe of Judah, but Israelite men, period, we got to stop making excuses for why we're not going to jump into action. Imagine if Superman said, this looked like a job for the police. You know, Metropolis would be all fucked up. Imagine the Malcolms and the Martins sitting back and saying, this looked like a job for who? I don't know who else.
Right. Look, all right. Imagine the Lord Yahweh Shai saying, you know what, man? Fuck these niggas. You know what I'm saying? I ain't dying for them.
Yeah, I'm calling the angels.
Right? He called the angels, man, and bounce.
And you know, if he was effeminate as a lot of what we're faced with in terms of these excuses for men in our community, and I'm not directing this to brothers on the chat, but the enemy is really what's adverse to that godly way. And so there's a plague of the effeminate masculine, the pseudo masculine, that false manhood that's permeated throughout our communities. That's a plague. That's why the Most High told his son to let us know that the effeminate ain't going to enter into the kingdom. But you have to be the first line of defense. You have to be, or you got to be ashes. That's the cold part. And I like to see the comments and participation on these videos when they go up. I like to see the questions in the chat, but I would love to see more is that they amounted to salvation for somebody. If you don't like what we're saying, I could give a damn. I only care that it hits you and that you can use it to your betterment. Because this is what's going on. The Most High could bug you out and turn you into a damn pedophile. You got to understand that. Look what happened to Nebuchadnezzar. Did he get bugged out? He was the king of kings in the earth. The golden head on that statue. His kingdom was the greatest, and he bugged them out on fucking night.
He says, thou art the golden head.
You know what I'm saying? So we ought not.
And he ended up eating grass.
We'll do.
Right?
Before we finish this sentencing, Cap, you got anything that you want to bring out?
Oh, nah, Con, I just wanted to, bring that precept out, so that we could elaborate. You could elaborate on it as you did beautifully, my brother, just to let brothers know, man, that this is not just something that you feel like you might have to do, something that you do if you want to do it, if you feel up to it, right? Or you having a good day. You know what I'm saying? See, that's a feminine state of mind.
Yeah,
right?
I'm waiting till I get my hair done and shit.
Right.
Or even the subtle things, like sometimes they're legit concerns. Like, oh, I've had issues with brothers in the past. I got trust issues. Well, guess what? We all do. We all do. But the point is that we repent and we understand that the Most High didn't give us the spirit of fear, the spirit of weakness, but the spirit of power. Because we talk about Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah, Bashem Yahweh Shai, right? Bashem Mashiach Yahweh Shai. We love the way it feels. We love the mouth feel, right? But that same man, Yahweh Shai, the scripture said we can do all things through Yahweh Shai. Why utter his name if we don't think that's true? You know, we got to rethink what we're talking about.
Okay. All right.
Your Honor, is the defendant's counsel going to be providing probation as a proof of the 5,000 being paid?
Yes, Your Honor. Okay. All right. Okay, so Mr. Nowak, the terms of the plea agreement are as what the prosecutor just stated, that you are going to be entering a plea of guilty to the 2 counts of aggravated child abuse and 1 count of deliberate contributing to the delinquency of a minor. You will be adjudicated guilty, which is a criminal.
Look, I want you to understand that, in a sense, if we don't do what we're supposed to do, we too are advocating, we're excusing, we're condoning, we're not being a pillar standing in the gaps between our minors and delinquency. You understand what I'm saying? He might have given the girl some dope, some pills, some drink, but you not doing that, even if that ain't your action, if you're not making a hedge, if you're not being a watchman to the community, essentially you're still allowing for the delinquency of a minor. So we could talk bad about Nowak, Bob Polite, but guess what? We're guilty of them same charges if we don't make a stance. You see how problematic it becomes?
Conviction on your record. Do you also understand, sir, that by entering into this plea that it may subject you to involuntary civil commitment proceedings set forth in Florida statutes 394.910 through 394.931? Do you understand everything that I've said thus far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want to also advise you, sir.
He's dealing with denial right now. He sounded like John Wick. He said, yeah. His breath left his body, all praises to the Most High.
That you are going to be sentenced to 7 years in state prison, to be followed by 10 years of reporting probation. In addition to any of these special conditions of probation, you will also participate in and successfully complete a mentally disordered sex offender treatment program. That you are also not eligible.
He said mentally disorderly. He has to deal with the fact that he has a mental disorder. Doing this work helps you combat mental disorders, not just going to the street corners and yelling or saying con and wearing your fringes, but what comes along with it, being accountable, really dealing with the truth amongst your brethren. It helps you combat mental illness. Remember, we talked about emotional dysregulation, the discipline that comes with getting into an organization and being instructed and allowing yourself to be a part of something bigger than just how you feel. It's going to help you deal with emotional dysregulation. But his spirit couldn't tolerate it. That's why he hated what we do.
Okay, you may, according to the state, you may be eligible for early termination if all of the conditions of your probation have been completed, that you have had no violations of your probation, and that you have not been arrested for any other criminal offense. Is that correct, State?
And to clarify, the terms stated in 5 is there is no prohibition on early termination. However, there is a requirement that any modification to this agreement be agreed by the state and the court.
Okay. All right, sir. Now, with respect to this plea agreement, I have on each page next to defendant's initials MN. Did you in fact affix those initials to each?
So the rest of it, it's all she wrote. I'm not going to harp on it too much more. The Shabbat's about to end. I'm going to enjoy my wife's company, and I'm going to pray that brothers and sisters take this seriously and heed the call, because this is a warning shot. Polite's getting off easy, but if you don't apply yourself, you're not going to get off easy. You're not going to get off. You understand? No more scamming Jake. Damn right. But look, nonetheless, brothers and sisters, we gotta really apply ourselves. So as usual, I'm gonna put the email in the chat. It's Fire of God Classroom. Actually, you already see it on the screen. What am I thinking? You see it on the screen. We can use any support possible. You see the Cash App on the screen. But most importantly, you share the video, you like the video, you subscribe to both of the channels. You help us propagate this information, show your family members, and get your ass on them corners. Get off the couch if you're on the couch, you know, because I don't know everybody's situation, but get to it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, we used to say.
Hey, Con, all praises to the Most High. Hey, that's right, man. Get up off the couch, man. You know, the couch turns you, makes you a captive. All right, because you become captive, man, to just sitting there doing nothing and being an internet keyboard warrior, man. And the Most High power don't need those. All right. We could have our sisters could do all the keyboard warrior for us. You need to get on the block, man.
Well, there you go. Bring back some war stories home. That's gonna get you some good home cooking.
That's right, man. That's
There you
right,
go.
man. So, hey, man, look, brothers, remember, man, we're the only family, Amos 3, man, that the Most High Yahweh has ever known. All right? So, with that being said, we have to look at each and every one of us like that. You know what I'm saying? That we're a family and we got to take care of each other.
Bring that out.
It's an old Scarface song where he says that, name of the song is actually Heaven by Scarface. And he says that your family's your backbone, right? And your friends ain't shit, right? And I'm going to take that, to mean in this context right now that the Israelites, that's the family, man, and all these other nations, your friends, so-called friends, oh, I can trust them. They ain't shit, all right? The family is the backbone, all right? So let's remember that, man. I'm going to just give all praise to the Most High. I'm going to say, call Allah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Mashiach, Yahweh Shai, and Barakatah to everybody out there.
All praises to the Most High. Appreciate you accompanying us here, Cat, man. All praises. Hashem Mashiach, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah, and Shalom.